No.
Hey guys, Dominic Couch. Just top aided remote duo YCS Pasadena from my friend Anson's living room in California. I played a really fun deck that I think is really broken. I played a 60 card Swordsoul 10E DPE deck, and I'll show you guys the deck. So I played 3 Ecclesia. These are the starters. This is the best card in the deck because it comes back after you DP. 3 Moye, 3 Taye, and 3 Long. Pretty much like in the 40 card decks, like some people play like 2 Taye or 2 Long, because like these cards are like really bad to draw in multiples, and the problem with like the Swordsoul engine in itself is like the cards become really clunky when you draw multiples of any of them, and they don't really do enough. But if you play 60, you like still max all the engine cards, so your deck has a lot more longevity, and it doesn't actually mess with the math very much at all. But because you're playing a lot more cards, different cards, you don't draw multiples, and your hand doesn't become as clunky. It's kind of the same thing with the tennies, like drawing 2 Ashina really sucks, or 2 Vishuddha, etc. So 12 Sword Souls, and tennies I play 3 Ashina. 3 Vishuddha, because these are both the really good ones. This one sucks, so I play 2. And then this one really sucks, so I play 1. And it's just a requirement for like circle and cool plays to have the level 4 in your deck. But there was a really cool play I made round 9 against my bird player, where he was at like 2,000 with IO, and then so I tribute summoned driver, cracked into his nib, and then Shatana popped his nib, summoned back my driver, attack for game, and that was hilarious. So that was really cool. It was the only like really cool thing I did with that card all day. This card's broken. Um, yeah, honestly, I play 60 cards, so I wouldn't draw these also. Still drew them way too much, but they're good. And then hand traps, played 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 2 Ogre, and 3 Impermanence. This one is the least flexible of them all, so I only play 2, but I play this one because I play Emergency Teleport, which is a really cool card for making like interesting synchro plays, like going second helps make Yazi after your guy gets negated, or going first and makes like Baron with a 10E. A really cool concept. Shout out to Jesse Cotton for that one. And then 3 Emergence. 3 Desires. I actually never before until this weekend have I ever activated 3 Pod Desires in the same game, but that was hilarious. 3 Fusion Destiny. Card is just really good. Like all the spells in my deck are just like power spells pretty much, except like Circle. But those are just like consistency cards because I'm playing like more cards. I only play 2 Vessel because this one really sucks to draw on multiples, and it's like the only spell that. Well, this card requires like another card to play. It requires any worm to like do something, where this one like specifically requires a 10E for it to actually be good. Because if your Swordsoul card resolved, like you didn't need this card to actually do anything in the first place. Probably should have just been a defensive card. Droplet, I would have played like 6 of these if I could. This card was really good. I played 3 Tactics. This card was like not outstanding at all. It was like mediocre. I don't know if I'd play Tactic again, but I would want another card that like does something similar, but it's like live more often, because I swear every time I drew this card, I just got like double impermed or something, and it's just dead. And it's like, huh. But like when I go second, it was pretty good. It was just like, it's just really bad whenever I went first, honestly. And then I played 2 Teleports and a Gold Sork. I never drew Gold Sork this weekend, but it was really good in testing when me and Matt were getting our reps in on Friday. And then I played 2 Blackout so that I could banish one with Gold Sork freely. And then I think Blackout is very important to the deck. Like it's like integral. You just like search this, don't get nibbed, like end on like a little small combo board, but like have follow up, or like especially if you draw like Fusion Destiny, you just have so many cards. All you want to do is live, and Blackout lets you live the best because everyone plays Droplet in their deck. So like ending on like Baron instead of Blackout like isn't actually better most of the time. Just tokens, 60 card main deck in case that one wasn't obvious. Extra deck, I played 2 Shijao. I actually don't know if I ever summoned the second one, but you have to play 2. It comes up. And then Cheng Ying, Baron, Yazi, Double Boxia, Chao Fang, Berserker, and then I guess the card, 2 Monk and a Shaman. And then I guess the cards that I played in my extract that weren't standard were Omega, DPE, and Predaplant. So like playing the Fusion Destiny, these are both like obvious, like why I play them because I'm playing Fusion Destiny. But what I really like about them is like your like bad Tenny hands where it's like Tenyi Moye, then like reveal Taye or reveal like reveal something that you can't actually play with, like maybe a second of the same Tenyi name, etc., or another Moye, Taye, Protos even. You like special your Tenyi, normal Moye effect, gets negated, and then you can just make Anaconda with them rather than do nothing. And then that's like really, really good. And then all you have to do is live, and then like DPE, and then like Celestial will carry. And then I played Omega because I was playing Desires with Fusion Destiny as well as like other cards. If you Desires banish away a piece, playing Omega in your deck lets you steal Anaconda because you can Omega, put the piece you banished back in your grave. Then on the next turn, link off the Omega into Anaconda, and then shuffle the Omega and the piece that you banished back into your deck, and then it's live again. So that's a really, really cool Omega interaction. And then this card is also like really cool to like play around Nib. You just like summon it, and then like keep playing, and then like they nib you, you just chain, like hit something out of it, and it always floats. And then it's also really, really good. Like there was one time I played a mirror, I like summoned this. They had an Ashina in their graveyard that I really, really had to get rid of, but I still needed to find a way to play. But I was under Droll. So I made Omega, and I had an Adhara. And then so I synchroed the Omega and the Adhara into Chao Fang. Omega shuffled back their Ashina, and then Chao Fang ran over their guy and then summoned Taye from my deck and kept playing. And so that was really, really good. This is like niche graveyard interaction because I don't play Ruddy Rose. So my only real graveyard interaction besides it is Cheng Ying. So I think this card's very, very good. Also, like you play Striker, a lot of times they end like only engage in their hand. You just hit the engage out of their hand. You have to like try to cheese that deck because it's a bad matchup, I'm pretty sure. Then for the side deck, I just played all bombs because my deck was 60 cards. So any card in my side deck, if I drew it, I wanted it to like probably end the game or like heavily swing the game in my favor. So like Gamma and Lancia were the best hand traps aside. It like prevents the Tennies and Protos, as well as like turns off all the tri cards. And like randomly, if I play against like PK, and then like Gamma is just very, very good going second against everything. It's just hard to play through that one right now. It's very good. 3 Book of Eclipse. So this card is super, super broken. You play against Swordsoul, and then you just you like bait the Baron, or like sometimes they don't even end on Baron if they didn't start with long. And so you just Eclipse their board, and it turns off literally everything. It turns off Shijao, Cheng Ying, Draco Berserker. It even turns off Blackout unless they ended on Monk. And they just literally can't win. Like if you just traded like 1 for 4, there's no way they can win anymore. And then also, I didn't side Dimensional Barrier because I think that it's too much of a guessing game whether you're going to go first or second in the Swordsoul mirror, especially after you win game 1. So having Eclipse was really good because if I went second, Eclipse did what it was supposed to do. But if they made me go first and I drew Eclipse, it was still a really, really good trap card. So it was the card that like kind of solved my Dimensional Barrier problem where you can't side it when you think you might go second because it's just dead when you actually go second. But like if they try to trick you, haha, you go first. This card's still really good. I made the mirror go first. That was something I was really big on. 3 Lightning Storm just for like the trap decks. Yeah, you just want, like I said, I just want them to be bombs, and like Twin Twister's like good and all, but And so is same with Cosmic Cyclone, but those cards aren't bombs. My deck is 60 cards. If I get to play, like, my deck is more unfair or explosive. So you just want to play cards that trade like 1 for 2 minimum, like that. It's like this. I'll do the same thing, and reboot in order. I never drew either of these all weekend, so oh well. But that was the deck. Shout out Vegas Discord. Shout out Kenny, Jesse, Brian. Biggest shout outs go to my 2 playtesting partners, Anson and Matt, the Kings. Shout out Zach Stone, my Swordsoul buddy. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Shout out Team Jobber, and shout out Dio and Karan for lending me a monitor to play at Anson's house. That was great. And thank you.
I don't know how to end it.
Shout out Boltund and Snorlax. You know who you are, Jeb.